Hasbro's, Mattels, Galoos, and Jacks. Basic elites, hell JNs and battle packs. Whether we're buying, selling, trading.
So you had just went through kind of a timeline for me to answer your favorite wrestler overall, and that was one thing I didn't really know you watched much wrestling before I was around.
Because you weren't around.
Well, yeah, because I wasn't around, but no, I didn't know you were a fan really
that is
before.
one thing that me and you got into, and I thought that'd be a special bond for us. We watched wrestling. I sat you on the refrigerator. You dove into my arms. You'd stand on the back of the couch. I'd lay on the living room floor, and you would dive off the back of the couch on my stomach. And I get yelled at a lot for it by someone we won't mention. But anyhow, it was great. That's what we did. Besides Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse, wrestling was ruled the house.
And that, you know, even with little brother Derek, DX,
Yes.
We had a 24/7 championship title here. It's a madhouse. When you grow up with your dad, who's more like your best friend than a dad, who bent over backwards and broke his back for every dollar he made, and you know, I did. Okay. But you know, you dedicated so much time to us as kids and even as adults now. Like, we talk to each other every day.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, whether it's a text or a phone call, whatever. It's a really close bond, and you know, wrestling, I think, definitely took it to another level. And then me growing up, every time we went to Nan's house, and I'd want to wrestle with my cousins, and we couldn't wrestle at Nan's, weren't allowed. But then me growing up and becoming a wrestler, like, how was that for you to watch that transition? Was that?
Hey, either of my kids, they can do whatever they want. I'm behind them as long as it makes sense and it doesn't endanger their life. But he got hurt a little bit, but he still likes to get in that ring occasionally, and it's understood, because once you start doing something and that's what you know, that's what you do. Another thing, you can't spoil your kids if you love them.
See, and that's case in point. I mean, I do it still to this day with my own. So, and I don't know, and I gotta say, here I am, a 37-year-old man-child, and every holiday I still get a toy, at least a toy, in my gift.
Me too.
From
Me
Pops.
too.
And that's, you know, same with him. If I see something he likes, I'm definitely going to pick it up for him. And he's about to roll that odometer to 60, and he's still going to get toys. So I threw it in there for you, Derek, a little jab. Wasn't there somebody you were supposed to say hello to?
Yeah, there's a good friend of mine out there that I only see once a year. I'd love to make love to his wife, but since I can't, I'll have to try to make love to him, I guess. But I'd like to give a shout out to GM, and another guy got me into all this bullshit, toy collecting and whatnot. I'd like to say thank you to Wes McHugh, Phil/Buzz. Thank you all these guys for getting me into this crap, and me now having a house full of plastic, which Derek says if my house ever burns down, it's just going to be a big blob of plastic.
Do you have a favorite heel wrestler, either of all time or current?
Current, the worst heel out there, which means he's the best heel out there, I have to say, is Baron Corbin.
Yeah, Baron
He's
Corbin.
a man you love to hate. They say his mother even hates him. I can totally understand that. But he is a great heel. Now, Seth Rollins went to being like a superstar to being a heel. He's just a...
He is an ass.
He's an ass.
You know,
I mean...
We all got to see this gimmick, and we talked about it before. We got to see this gimmick before with the Straight Edge Society. It was done a lot better, and I mean, it's been done before. And I know, like, what's old is new. We've seen so many gimmicks over the years recycled.
Yes.
But yeah, so of all time, do you have like a back in the day, like the golden era, you know, the 80s and 90s?
Well, remember, I smoked my medication, so my mind's a little fuzzy. There was a lot of bad guys back in the day, but like I said, they go from heel to face overnight, so sometimes it's like hard to even remember or forget. But one of the biggest, baddest dudes, and you can't really say he was a heel, but he was a superstar, was Big John Studd. And I'm not saying that because I'm big, but he was just a big, bad dude. And that's what he was, and he got the job done for the most part. But he's a great guy. May he rest in peace. Yeah, he's one of my old-time heroes.
Yeah.
You can consider him that.
Oh no, he definitely was. I mean, he did have a face run for a little bit, but yeah, I mean, he did business like when they needed somebody put over. The body slam challenge with him and Andre back in the day, like that was really cool. And like I said, if I watch wrestling now, most of the time it's the older stuff, and I like going back to the WWF Superstars or the Superstar Challenge, all that type of stuff. All right, so I was brainstorming and trying to think of a question, and it skipped my mind. But if you were a wrestler, which you should have been at some point in your life, although many props, he did security for us a few times over the years. But if you were a wrestler, what would your entrance music have been?
Well, I like Enter Sandman, but that's already taken. Crazy Bitch. How's that? Even though I'm not a bitch.
Yeah.
No, not that one. There's too many songs out there to think about.
I wasn't sure if you would have went for like anything like your two favorite bands being the Stones and Zeppelin. Wasn't sure if you would have went for anything there, but I understand like the harder rock feel too.
Well, I couldn't go with Moby Dick because it's like 16 minutes long.
It's been the greatest entrance ever.
Yeah, but 6 people could have been pinned during that song, so couldn't use Moby Dick.
Stone Street Fighting Man. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
I'll
too.
tumble for you.
Yeah,
I'll tumble
going
for
Culture
George,
Club.
Culture
Yeah.
Club. No, not again. I don't know. It's too hard.
All right.
It's
Well,
too many songs.
keep that in your brain matter. Recently, because I played some Fozzy for him on our road trip, Sebastian Bach came out and told Chris Jericho he should stop singing, and then he's a punk. He's a terrible singer, and it made me laugh because even 20 years ago, Jericho would have whooped Sebastian Bach's ass. Like, I don't think Sebastian Bach ever would have stood a chance. He'd beat him on the mic, yes, because he has one hell of a vocal range. All the Skid Row hits, all the Sebastian Bach stuff is all really good. But yeah, he definitely would have got his ass kicked by Jericho. If you wrestled, what would you have liked to use as a finisher, or do you have a favorite finisher?
The Tombstone is great, but it's owned. Pile drivers are always nice. Sleeper holds aren't anymore. Nobody very rarely uses a sleeper hold. I'm too big to go off the top rope, so that ain't happening. I call my move the Crush, Kill, Destroy. And that's what I would do. I go in and crush them, I kill them, and I destroy them.
I'm assuming it probably would have been like a pick up and slam, because that just seems like it should be like a 3-part pick up, elevate, and then destroy. But
or I could crush him with a chair, kill him with an axe, and destroy him with me covering him and going for the pin.
He goes to hook the leg, and the leg's not even attached to the body anymore.
I'm a SMF, if anybody out there knows what that means.
Oh, we all know the Twisted Sister. And if you don't, look them up, because you're under the blade. Did you ever see that one? That's what I got that for.
Yeah,
Came out the year I was born. So, that's why I got it. One of my favorites. If it came down to a legit fight, who do you think would win, Scott Hall or Kevin Nash?
Oh, come on now. You can't pair up two of my favorites.
I have to. It's got to be hard.
Diesel for sure. I mean, Diesel's winning for sure. Sorry, Razor.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because that's a tough one for me. I think with Scott being, in his drug and alcohol days, probably wouldn't have had quite a chance. But I think with Nash's injury-prone business, I think Hall definitely could have given him a run for the money. If you'd have done like Prime back before Razor, when he was Big Scott Hall, or he was, doing the Marlboro Man thing, I think he definitely could have. He could have squashed Nash in a heartbeat. Because he's a lot bigger back then.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Again, two of my favorites. I'd hate to see them fight, but shit happens.
Yep, and it always does. You know, unfortunately, I'm glad those guys like like the click thing, like they all stuck together through all their problems and all their
even Xbox.
With it.
And China's, unfortunately.
Hate X-Pac, but anyway.
I love China. Sorry, she's gone.
We actually got to see X-Pac years ago. Was that Allentown or Downingtown?
That was actually the York Fairgrounds. He
No,
was
no.
the Lightning Kid.
No, that was the show where we went to get the LJN Warrior.
No, we saw him at the York Fair. He was the Lightning Kid.
No, because we saw him as the Cannonball Kid. He got shoved in a grocery cart and pushed out the double doors by Van Hammer because it was the same show that I met Axe and Carlos Colon and Snuka.
Yeah,
It
but
was
I
at that
remember
show.
the Fairgrounds because Vader
Really?
was there. Yes. We smoked different kinds of medication.
Yeah, I don't recall that show at all at the fair. Wow.
Fairground. He was a Lightning Kid.
Yeah, because we saw him as the Cannonball Kid too back in the day. But Van Hammer, who had some WCW fame, but this was before that run. He took Cannonball Kid, little Sean Waltman, shoved him in a grocery cart, pushed him out the double doors, and I kind of wish that he never recovered from that. But here we are. You know, he's a Hall of Famer now.
But then again, we've been to so many shows. I took him to WrestleMania 1, which was on closed circuit TV, and paid $16 a ticket. Go in and sit down in peanut heaven, but we could see the TV's better up there anyhow, and everybody on the ground is like, what? So we got a pretty good view.
We got a WrestleMania 1 program.
Yes.
A legit one that I actually got signed by Piper.
And we had WrestleMania 1 on beta.
Yes.
If any of you remember what the hell
Yeah,
beta
you want to watch WrestleMania 1 on Betamax with us.
But like I said, I paid $16 a ticket to go see it on closed circuit TV with my son because I knew he'd love it. We went there. There's two 70-year-old ladies sitting in front of us. And when he started jumping up and down, screaming and hollering like I knew he would because that's what he should be doing. He's a kid. He's enjoying it. I don't care if he was 50. Two little old ladies turn around. Will you control your son, sir? No, I'm not controlling him. I said, we paid $32 to come to hell in here. I don't care if he pulls his fucking pants down. And they didn't bug us anymore. But whatever. We had fun, and that's what counts.
And then the first pay-per-view we actually went to see was Survivor Series 95, which was headlined... No, that was in Montreal. We went to Baltimore for that one, and that was the headline of Diesel and Brett on that show. But we got to see the pay-per-view debut of Goldust against Bam Bam Bigelow. That was pretty cool. That was on that show. There was so much talent on that show. That's when Taker came back and had the skull mask after the leg drop incident from Mabel, the crushed orbital. But that was just neat. I wish he would have had that run with the mask for a little while longer.
Yeah,
that was just cool. Menacing.
That was cool. They didn't make a figure like that ever either.
They did. Mattel did. Mattel did one.
Mattel.
Yep. He doesn't really mess with the Mattel stuff.
I don't like Mattels.
He's got a couple, but
mainly females.
Yeah, the females.
All female.
One of my favorite memories with wrestling growing up was Derek. Do you remember when Psycho Sid would come out? His little bitch ass would run and hide behind the recliner. I do want to thank you again. I mean, all your hard work over the years and always buying us the toys and everything else. You got us. And as I mentioned earlier, like probably half, if not 3/4 of the wrestling collection that I do physically own, this man purchased for me or for us. But the collection obviously has grown a ton, and due to my, crazy
addiction.
spending. But
Addiction.
I'd rather be attached to the plastic crack. So.
And like I said, you have kids. You can't spoil them if you love them.
And this title belt here says "World's Greatest Dad." That was a Father's Day gift to him a couple years ago because it's the truth. If you don't have a dad like mine, you suck, and I'm sorry to hear that. But for me, Scotty Mega, for SmokeDogg, I am a funker. Blaze is a funker. You're a funker. Thanks for checking out PileDriver episode 18.
Gary, I mentioned your name again.